This is a look at one coverage snap in Detroit's Week 18 win over the Chicago Bears and how they utilized Jack Campbell in a somewhat anomalous way. During the offseason, I like to do film studies like on the weekend or try to produce something for the weekend that's large scale. I just completed one for Christian Mahogany, or about Christian Mahogany, the potential starting left guard for the Lions in 2026. It involves all of that process involves a ton of film watching or rewatching, I should say, and every so often you come across something like this that's unique in terms of the usage of a player, and we've got that here. Jack Campbell is spot shadowed at the top of the screen. It's a 12 personnel grouping by the Bears, so they're setting up Detroit like perhaps they're going to play man. Could be man-free, two-man. There's some type of discussion between Barnes and this safety here about their alignment and who's on the right side, who's on the wrong side. There was a couple of shifts or motions as far as the tight ends go that made Detroit's pieces kind of move around pre-snap. I'm using a new software program called the Once Sports Analyser or Once Sports Illustrator to create these graphics that you see on screen. And the lines, the two yellow is Derek Barnes and then Jack Campbell, the linebackers. And then the two blue lines, Rock Ya-Sin and DJ Reed. Of course, they're setting up to make it look like man, like I said, on a 3rd and 4. Once the ball is snapped, the routes, the way that they work out, kind of like a flood concept a little bit. There'll be some communication between these two safeties about the route by DJ Moore, which is the yellow route, kind of like a climb/post concept. In any case, whether it's going to be two-man, man-free with a safety dropping down, Caleb Williams doesn't know. Now, he's currently looking at the bottom side of our screen as I have it paused right now. I just felt like this was a clean moment or segment to stop at to give you an idea of the 4-under, 2-deep coverage, and then you've got Derek Barnes, who almost is starting to look like a Tampa 2 Mike linebacker moving into the middle of the field. But if we pull this back a little bit and you take a look at where Caleb Williams actually examines first post-snap, meaning once he catches the football, his eyes are clearly looking up here to this side where Jack Campbell is. Jack Campbell is lined up against Colston Loveland, the talented tight end for the Bears, and Williams quickly moves off of that. How soon or how smoothly, I guess, did Williams identify that it was going to be cover 2? I don't think he did, to be honest with you. And this isn't about confusing Caleb Williams or any NFL-level quarterback. It's just about elongating their recognition process post-snap or their decision-making process, whatever phrase you want to apply, to allow the pass rush to get there. And in this case, it's Aiden Hutchinson with the sack. I'm not going to give you the end zone angle. I just love this play from the standpoint of what Kelvin Shepard did. I do believe that there was a point in the season, maybe after the bye, where Detroit's defense was a little bit too predictable, and we didn't see enough of things like this. Now, this is a little bit more difficult to pull off. You've got to have a super athletic and very aware inside linebacker. In fact, maybe two of them. One of them, Jack Campbell, the other one, Derek Barnes, or perhaps Malcolm Rodriguez. They're all three actually on the field here. I love the cover 2 concept anyway. I just did a video Sunday night talking about a somewhat anomalous coverage. It's a fire zone concept called 2-deep, 4-under. Essentially, in this particular play, or the one that I'm showing you, you've got 4 pass rushers, Hutchinson, 2 D tackles, and then Muhammad over there. But the 2-deep, 4-under fire zone would involve a 5th potential blitzer. Basically, this player would be part of the pass rush in some kind of combination with those guys being used. In this case, we've got a more traditional cover 2 that really is almost kind of looking like Tampa. What's different about it is that obviously you've got an inside linebacker, Jack Campbell, playing corner, an outside corner, Rock Ya-Sin, who was showing man pre-snap because of his alignment. He's over here lined up with one of the other receivers. That's a wide receiver and a corner, a wide receiver and a corner, clearly giving an indication that you're going to get man, right? At least before the snap. And then Rock drops out in a zone delineation. Essentially, in the hook area, the 2 flat defenders are DJ Reed and Jack Campbell. Again, it's not about confusing a quarterback, and I don't really necessarily like even using that word. It's just elongating their decision/recognition process such that the pass rush is able to get there, and in this case, Aiden Hutchinson is able to get home.